Finally have the carbon hood here. It's so crazy. Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for tuning into the video. This is how we created it, our very own GR SUPRA hood. Now the inspiration for this hood was from the Keeper Tom's 2022 GT500 GR SUPRA race car. The key element we wanted to take away from this hood were those deep vents. Now I feel like the deeper the vents go, the more race car the car looks, so that's definitely an element we wanted to keep. We experimented with a couple designs, as you guys can see here. This one was a flop, definitely made me feel kind of weird. This one was alright, but still wasn't there, something wasn't feeling right. This one was hideous, definitely did not want to go with this one. But we were getting closer. This one, again, not the move. But here, we decided to get rid of those vents and keep the twin center vents, and now we were getting somewhere. However, something still looked a little off, so what we ended up doing was moving the vents closer together towards the center and making the outer edges a little bit less harsh. Now that we had the design of the vents in mind, we 3D scanned the hood and the inside of the engine bay. That way we could make sure in the CAD model that the vents didn't hit anything inside the engine bay. So as you guys can see here, the vents go down into the engine bay but don't contact any of the components under there. So this is the great part about designing in CAD. We can double check our clearances rather than having to make the hood and then physically find out that, the vents are going to run into the engine bay components. Now once the design is set, we start programming our CNC machine to mill out the individual features. And these vents are super deep. We did raise the material around the edge to kind of give it like a deeper look, but we'll have to test it once we put it on the car. So this is gonna get molded into that, same with all the other vents. Yep. But holy shit, it's cool. Oh, that looks so good. These deep vents make this thing look crazy. Okay, so right now, Rich and David are going to start the gluing process. Vents are just being held up by these tabs and tape.
It's a special paste.
It's a special formulated paste that only Rich knows, secret ingredient. He's going to be putting that along the seams to effectively, permanently glue this piece in. Boys have been putting in mad work. We had, if you guys saw earlier, we had this whole center portion cut out, including the OEM skeleton. Now we're finding places to put the skeleton back in. Obviously we can't put it in here because the vents are there, but finding places to put the skeleton back in so that the hood still remains as rigid as possible. Finally have the carbon hood here. It's so crazy. It took months to get a full carbon version. Well, it took months to find someone who actually want to make it. That was actually the hardest part. Once we finished the prototype for the hood, it was trying to find someone that was willing to make it because the piece is so big. You actually have to, you can't use one giant sheet of carbon because it's actually not big enough because the hood's so wide. So we actually ended up using 2 sheets of carbon and using a V seam, style seam in the middle. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and we're going to be putting it on the car today so we can finally see what it looks like. Super excited about that. It's going to look really good. So here's the seam I was telling you guys about, straight down the middle. Nice clean V. So the back view actually looks crazy. You can see how deep these twin center vents go, just like the race cars. So this is definitely a key element of the hood. And these vents right here exit right behind the radiator. And we actually made these vents functional, unlike the OEM hood. which are the OEM hood ones are just blocked off, and even if you take off the plastic pieces on the OEM hood, they lead to nothing. So we decided to make this a functional vent. But yeah, you guys can just see how deep these vents go. So cool. And this is the double-sided carbon version, so full carbon, no fiberglass. So it's really baller. It's carbon on top and also carbon on bottom. So even when you lift up the hood, you'll see a carbon weave on the bottom. It looks super cool. I'll show you guys once it's on the car. It's over half a year, dude. Too long, but it's here now. The mold's ready. We can start making more of these. Holy crap.
I feel like it shines a lot better.
Vents on vents on vents.